Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've got another little Divi hover effect for you today, and we've got an image here that when you hover over it, it's going to reveal some text that sort of grows and populates. Really easy to do. We've only got to write one tiny bit of code for this today. But don't worry about that. Any code I write, I'll put down below and you're welcome to use it. It's very simple. So let's get started. First thing I want to do is enable the Visual Builder. And once enabled, let's go down to where we want to work. And I've got a section here, the blue tab, with a row, the green tab, and the row's got two columns in it. So we're going to work on this second column here. I'm simply going to add a text module. Divi comes as standard with all these modules. And I'm just going to give it a little bit more text there as I've got a larger area to fill. I've got some lorem ipsum over here. Let's take it from about there. Great. Okay, so we've got it in there. And the way this is going to work today, like most of these image effects that we've got going on here, is the image actually resides in the column itself. And then on top of that, we've got a module with our text in it that we're going to reveal. So let's just save what we've got here, and we'll go into our little column here and put an image behind it. So we'll go into the green tab for the row. And into our second column, column 1 here, column 2 here. And let's add a background image. Now you've got color, gradient, image or video. I'm going to be using an image today. And well, just for fun, let's use a slightly different one. And there we go. And at the moment you can see that the image is populating the size of our column back there. In other words, the bit that's actually got something in it, which is our writing. Now I'm going to give my column a fixed height, so it's the same as our column here. And then any effects that we do that may spill out of the column, we can control that way. So to do this today, I'm in the column setting, not the row setting, the column for this one column. I'm going to go to Advanced. I'm going to go to Custom CSS. In the main element, and this is the only little bit of code we're going to write today, I'm going to write height 400 pixels. Obviously you put in whatever size is going to work for you. As you can see, that's made that the nice same size as our one next door there. Great. The only other thing I want to do here is, while we're on the Advanced tab, I'll close the Custom CSS. Visibility, I want to make any horizontal or vertical overflow, I want to hide it. So anything that spills out of the box here, I don't want to be able to see. So I don't want to go anything below this line here, or to the right or left of this line here. So to do that, on the Advanced Visibility, I'm going to set horizontal overflow to hidden. That will allow things to overflow if we need them to, but they'll remain hidden. Great. So we're done with our little column there. Now let's go back and work on the module itself. Alright, the first thing I'm going to want to do is make that writing so I can see it. So I'm going to go Design tab to the text. I'm simply going to make mine white in color, which is fine. You can see it quite nicely there. And I'm going to go down a little bit. I'm going to justify it. You've got left, middle, right, and justify. There we go. Now I want to add a bit of padding all around to make it look a little more normal. So again, still on the Design tab, I can close up the text now. Go down to spacing. Let's give it 50 pixels all round. Just put in the 50, it'll put in the pixels for you. Hit the chain, it'll do the opposite side. And we'll do the same for left and right also. There we go. So that's residing in our little box quite nicely there. Now then, what do we want to do? When we're not hovering over it, we don't want to see any of this. We want to see that nice picture of the rose or whatever it is back there. And when we are hovering on it, I want this to sort of scale in and reveal. So we're just going to use a bit of padding to basically do this today. So while we're in the spacing, I'm going to hover over the dark legending where it says margin and padding. I'm doing padding. When you hover over, you see these little icons appear. Common to most Divi modules, if you've got a little arrow there, it's going to let you set a setting for desktop when your mouse is not on it and hover when your mouse is on it. So the hover state, I want to stay exactly the same, 50-50 all round. The desktop, I want to squish everything down to nothing. So I'm going to, for the desktop state, I'm going to say 150. And same left and right. As you can see, that squished that into the middle quite nicely. And when we're on desktop, I want to make sure that that's changed to just regular 50 right there. Great. So that's how it should be. In desktop, I want it squished into the middle. Make sure that we've got that correctly. Okay, that's good. Fantastic. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the text really, really small when we're not hovering over it, and I'm also going to make it transparent so we can barely see it at all. So let's close the spacing up and we'll go up to our text this time. And we're going to do a similar thing. We're going to go to text size right here, hover over, get the little arrow up. Text size on regular desktop, I want it to be tiny. There it is right there. And when we hover on it, I want it to be regular size, which was 14 pixels, I believe. Obviously you make yours the size that you want it. So it's going to be that big when we hover on it, and that big when we're not. And also on desktop, I'm going to make it transparent so you can't see it. And on hover state, I want it to be white. Great, but our padding still doesn't seem to be working on hover state there. So let's just check that one more time. We'll go back down to spacing again. Okay, we want that on regular. But we got it the wrong way around. I want 150 on regular all around. Probably not 1150. That's where our overflow hidden's helping, because it's pushing it out of the actual box here, but we can't actually see it. Then when we hover over it, this is where I want it to be 50. There we go. And it looks like our color's not working on the text there, so let's go back into the text. Text color. Regular state. Want it to be transparent. Hover state wants to be white. Fantastic. Alright, I think we've actually got it. We can see the picture there when we're not hovering on it, and when we hover on it, it's going to come in like that. Now the time it takes to actually go from this version to this version by default in Divi is 300 milliseconds. I'm going to slow it down for a bit of drama. To do that, we're going to go to our Advanced tab. We're still in the text module. Going to go to transitions. I make mine about 3/4 of a second, something like that. Obviously play with it, do what works for you. Don't want any delay. I want it to happen straight away when they put their mouse on it. And the speed curve I like to use for these is ease in out. These are all slightly different, and some will work better than others in different situations, so check them out and work on what's best for you. But for my hover effects, I tend to default to this one. Alright, well let's save everything and we should be good to go. Save our page changes. And exit the Visual Builder. Okay, well there's our little image, and let's see what happens when we hover over. There we go. We've got our text sort of scaling in and revealing itself, populating that little block there. That's a nice little effect to have on your site. You could have 2 or 3 different info sections with that on there. And if people are mousing around your site and that starts to happen, it's going to get their eyeballs on it. The only other thing I might have done on this one, let's do it quickly, is on the hover state we could add a darker background so we can just see the rows, but the writing would be a little bit more prominent. I think I did this on this one, yeah. So let's quickly do that on Enable the Visual Builder. And we'll go into this module. And we're in the Content tab, we'll go down to Background, and just on the hover state, not on the regular state, don't want any background on the regular state. On the hover state, I'm going to hit this little arrow, go to our hover state. I'm going to add a black background, but I want to take the opacity down a bit so you can see a bit of that rose through the background, but still read the writing really well. Maybe a bit more. Yeah, that's great. Save that. Save the page changes. And exit the Visual Builder one more time. And there we go, there's our little picture of the rose. When we hover over it, we got our text revealing in, and you can still see a bit of that rose back there, but the text is a lot more legible. So there you have it. There's your text populate and grow effect. Really easy to do. So I hope you've enjoyed that today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.